Good morning, students. The next we're going to learn about animal classification. Okay, so you can see in this picture, there is a pyramid shape. You can see what is the order of this pyramid. It means from the hierarchical order, and that's the down you can see it's very less compared to the top. You can see it's very less in number. Okay, so that is a species. So first one they're showing here domain. So if you're talking about the domain, so one example also they given, that is a red fox. It's a carnivorous animal, red fox. It's called Vulpes vulpes. So here domain, if you are taking in this all eukaryotic animals, it will come. Eukaryotic means nucleus with a proper nuclear membrane. So again, you just come down second level, that is kingdom level. You can see it's little less compared to the first level, that is kingdom Animalia, because kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Here you can see two kingdoms will come. So the size you can see it decreasing. Third is phylum Chordata, because here many phylums will come. So this animal comes under phylum Chordata. Below that class Mammalia. Then below order, you see how the size it decreases, because order means many orders will come. Carnivora. This animal comes under carnivorous or carnivora. Then family. Below order family, that is Canidae, genus Vulpes, and species Vulpes. So this is the order, hierarchical order. It means from the you can see here, you can tell here small to big, you can tell ascending order. If you are seeing from top to bottom, you can see descending order. The size it decreases. Okay. This is, so first it is domain, it's the biggest one. Below that kingdom, then phylum, then class, then order, then family, then genus, and species. Clear? Then, if you are coming to one example they given here, a scientific classification is given. See one animal, tiger. Okay, if you are taking, if you are writing the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So first it comes under the kingdom Animalia, comes under animal group Animalia. Then phylum, Chordata. You learned what is chordates and non-chordates, vertebrates, invertebrates. So it comes under the phylum Chordata. Then class, Mammalia group, mammals. Then order, Carnivora. Family, Felidae. Genus, Panthera. Species, Panthera tigris. Okay, so these are the order. So kingdom, we learned just now I told is a hierarchical highest kingdom. So below that, phylum, then class, order, family, genus, species. Clear? So kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Carnivora, family Felidae, genus Panthera, species Panthera tigris. Clear? The next, we are going to learn about what are the salient features of non-chordates. Non-chordates are the group of animals without, what do you learn? These are the group without chordata. Okay, that's called non-chordates. Notochord. Okay, chordates means there is a presence of notochord. Non-chordates, there is a absence of notochord. So now we're going to learn about what are the salient features of non-chordates. Non-chordates without notochord. First phylum, that is phylum Porifera. This phylum, it is also known as pore bearing. Pore means holes or openings. Okay, why it is called pore bearing? Because their body which contains this organism, usually most of the organisms comes under this phylum. They are very simplest forms, and their body which contains pores or openings or holes. Clear? Yes. So first you can see here, they are simplest pore bearing organisms. So they are simplest organisms, and also which their body contains pore or holes or openings. They may be solitary, colonial, or sedentary. Solitary means existing alone or single. Colonial means in colony or in groups. Sedentary means the organism, the body of the organism, it is attached to a substratum. That is the meaning of sedentary. The body is attached to the substratum is called sedentary. So in this group, the organisms may be solitary, means maybe single, or colonial, maybe in groups, or sedentary. Body, it may be attached to any substratum. Then mostly marine. Most of the animals are marine, or they living in sea, but some are freshwater. They are living in pond, lake, like that. They are living in very few freshwater. Animals also, organisms also we can see in this group. Then if you are talking about the shape, they are cylindrical shape. Most of them, they are vase, flower vase shape or cylindrical shaped. The body shows cell aggregate plan. So before you learned there are different types of plants, cellular level, tissue level, organ level, different plants, three different types of tube within tube plan, different plants you learn. So this body shows cell aggregate plan. It means their body is made up of cells, a collection of few cells, okay, but there is no tissue or organs. Okay, so no tissues, no organ systems, but they contain only cells, a collection of few cells, collection of cells. Clear? So body shows cell aggregate plan, no tissues or organs. Then ostia are the small pores through which water enters the body, and osculum is the opening through which water exits the body. I can show you here. Look at this figure. So this is sponge, this body cavity, this is known as spongocoel. Then here is the water flow. You can see this openings. Here you can see one pink color. Here also you can see one opening. These are some openings through this water will enter inside the body. Ostia, it is called ostia, and here it will flow during this time. Food particle, it is engulfed by the choanocyte that I'll explain after this. What is choanocyte? Then even the respiration will take place and excretion, everything is happening inside the body, and the water, it comes out through the another opening that it is known as osculum. Clear? So these are the openings. You can see this arrow mark they put inside. It means water is entering through this opening. They are known as ostia, and water is going outside through another opening. It is known as osculum. Clear? Yes. So ostia are the small pores through which water enters the body, and osculum is the opening through which water exits the body. Then the body cavity is called spongocoel. Just now I showed what is the body cavity. It is called spongocoel. Choanocytes help in digestion. Digestive system is absent. So they don't have any organ systems like us. We have digestive system, respiratory system, excretory system. So they don't have tissue, no tissues, no organs, no organ systems. So how the digestion will take place? For the digestion, which organ will help? It is helped by an organ that is called choanocytes. Choanocytes help in digestion. So there is no digestive system. Okay, so I can show you in this figure. These are the choanocytes. You can see here. These are choanocytes with one flagella. You can see here. It's a motile organ flagella. Then let us see what are the function of these choanocytes. Choanocyte, the structure of a choanocyte is critical to its function, which is to generate a water current through the sponge and to trap and ingest food particle by phagocytosis. So it has two functions. One function is it generates a water current through the sponge. Inside the sponge, it generates a water current. Second one is it trap and ingest food particle by phagocytosis or engulf, or phagocytosis in amoeba and other single cellular organisms. You learned what is phagocytosis. So one thing, it will generate or it allow the flow of the water here. That is the meaning of water current, to generate water current. Second thing, to trap and ingest food particles. Okay, so this, the help of this flagella, it will trap and ingest food particle by phagocytosis process. So you can see here, so this is the structure of choanocyte. You can see this is a flagellum, and here you can see many villi. These are called microvilli. Okay, in our small intestine, you know, there are some finger-like processes called villi. Through the villi, absorption of food to the blood, it will take place. Same like here you can see, these are called microvilli, and surrounded by, here you can see one ring-like structure that is called collar. So this is known as this choanocytes. It is also known as collar cells. What is another name of choanocyte? Collar cells. Clear? Then here you can see the food particle in mucus. Food particle is going inside, and here also you can see one amoebocyte. It can one more stage. that is called amoebocyte. I'll tell you what is meant by this amoebocyte here. Excuse me. Specialized flagellated cells called choanocyte. So I told just now, the specialized flagellated cell is called choanocyte or collar cell in another sponge. The choanocyte then transforms into an amoeba shape. You can see here. Okay, you can see here. The choanocyte then transforms into an amoeba shaped cell called a carrier cell. What it is called? It's called carrier cell, which gives up the spermatozoan to an egg. What is the function of this carrier cell? Which gives up the spermatozoans to an egg, lying near a chamber formed by choanocytes. So it will be here. This is a chamber formed by the choanocytes. Clear? Lying near a chamber formed by choanocytes and containing long lash-like appendages called flagella. So these are the long lash-like appendages. These are called flagella. So function of the flagella to generate water current, and also it trap the food for catch the food items. Clear? So that is the function of this flagella or the function of the choanocytes. So the next one is exoskeleton. Exoskeleton made up of endoskeleton means the skeleton which is present inside the body, exoskeleton which is present outside. Outer skeleton, it is called exoskeleton. It is made up of silica, calcium carbonate or foreign protein, spongin fibers. So it is made up of silica, calcium carbonate or protein spongin fibers. Clear? And it is also known as spicules. The body is supported by a skeleton of spicules or spongin fibers. Clear? So the body is supported by a skeleton of spicule. It is also known as spicules. You can see here which are the spicules. I'll show you. Yeah, here. This one. These are the exoskeleton. It is also known as spicules. Okay, look at here. These are the spicules. These are the choanocyte. The next, what they will eat? The sporifera feed on detritus material present in water or decayed materials. So decayed organisms or decayed materials present mainly they are living in sea or they are marine, but I told you some are freshwater also. So they will eat the decayed things, decayed materials. Then how the reproduction will take place? Mainly asexual reproduction by budding method. Budding means from the body itself, there are some bud-like structures coming. Each bud, it will separate and is growing as a new adult form. Okay, or it will grow as a new individual or new adult. And also sexual reproduction will take place by gametes. So there are male and female gametes, both will fuse, zygote will form, and zygote it will grow as a new individual or adult. Then sponges have great power of regeneration. What is the meaning of regeneration? It means if any one cell or any one, what I should tell, small part or fragment comes out from the sponge, it can grow as a new individual or new adult. That is called regeneration. Clear? So any small fragments or small part or any cell separate from the sponge body, it can grow as a new individual or new adult. That is called regeneration. So they have great power of regeneration. So examples they given cycon and euspongia. So which are the examples for porifera organisms? Cycon and euspongia. I'll show you the figure. Yes, this is cycon. You can see here the whole body. I told almost they have cylindrical shape. Body is covered with, you can see the pores here, pore bearing. That is the reason they are called porifera. Pore bearing, you can see small pores or openings. Here euspongia, you can see it's attached to the substratum. I told some are sedentary in nature. Okay, they are attached to the substratum. The whole body is covered with, you can see here, small pores or openings. Okay. So this structure I already told. So this osculum, through this water it goes out. These are ostia, through that water it coming inside. And you can see here outermost layer, that is epidermis. Then these are the choanocytes with the flagella, which trap food and also helps for the flow of the water current or flow of water. And this is a body cavity. This body cavity is known as spongiocele. This is the body cavity. And here you can see the water flow. And this already I explained. This is the structure of choanocyte, flagellum, collar, phagocytosis of food particles in mucus, choanocyte, amoebocyte. Clear? The next phylum, it is Cnidaria. This phylum, it is also known as Coelenterata. So what is another name of Cnidaria? Coelenterata. How they will live? They are colonial or solitary forms. So they live in colonies or group, or some are solitary or existing single, also living single. Then they are sedentary or free living animals. Some are sedentary, means they are attached to the substratum, or some are free living animals. Most are marine, but a few may be found in fresh water. So most of the organisms comes under this group. They are marine in nature, but some found in fresh water also. Example, Hydra. Okay, Hydra coming under this group. So it is freshwater organism. Then body is radially symmetrical. What is meant by radially symmetrical? So in the previous class, I explained bilateral symmetrical, radial symmetrical, and asymmetrical. Radial symmetrical means the body can divide into, we will be getting two, when you cut through any plane, we will be getting two similar halves. Okay, two parts will be getting, both will be similar. That is called radially symmetrical. The next, presence of specialized cells called cnidocytes, which contains stinging structures called as nematocyst. So they have some special cells. I'll tell you where it is present. Yeah, this is actually this cell. It is called a cnidocyte. It is a special cell. This cnidocyte, what it contain? It contain nematocyst with a stored thread and barb. So this is the thread and barb. Then what is the use of this thread and barb? So usually you can see they have very fine hair-like structures. It is a touch sensitive hair-like projections. Okay, if any obstacle or anything is coming in its way, it's very sensitive in nature, easily it can identify it. That is a touch sensitive hair-like projections. So once it will identify, or once it will get sensation, immediately what will happen? This nematocyst, I told you this nematocyst which contain thread and barb, it will come out. Okay, you can see in the second figure, nematocyst after firing. So this is barb, this is thread. This contains some toxic substance or poisonic substance. With that, it can kill the prey. Clear? So this is barb and thread. It contains some toxic substance. Clear, children? So this cell is called cnidocyte, and the cell contains nematocyst. This nematocyst contains stored thread and barb. I told these are the very fine hairs which used to sense the things. So once it will sense the things, if it want to kill, immediate these things, it will come out. Okay. So what are the things? This is a barb and thread. This thread which contains toxic substance or toxin. Okay. Okay. So presence of specialized cells called cnidocyte, which contains stinging structures called as nematocyst. Clear? So that only explain here. Cnidocyte which contains nematocyst. This is a nematocyst. They are stinging things or stinging cells. It has barbed thread which contain poison or toxin. Cnidocytes are present in tentacles which help in capturing large prey as their nematocysts discharge toxin into them. So what is the use of this cnidocyte? Cnidocytes are present. Where it is present? They are present in tentacles, help in capturing large prey as their nematocysts discharge toxin into them. That also I can show you here. See, these are the tentacles which is present around the mouth or anus, because there is only one opening. That opening is acting as a mouth or anus. Okay, surrounding things, these are called tentacles. So in this tentacle which contains specialized cell, it is called what? The specialized cell, it is called, this is called cnidocytes. This cnidocyte, it contains nematocyst. Clear? So these are the tentacles. Clear? So these are called tentacles. Usually it is surrounded, you can see this is a mouth. Mouth is surrounded by this tentacles. They are motile in structure. It can move. They are motile appendages. Clear? So this tentacle means nothing but they are slender, flexible limb or appendage in an animal. especially around the mouth of an invertebrate, used for grasping or moving about or bearing sense organs. So what is the meaning of what is a tentacle? They are slender, flexible limb or appendage in an animal, especially around the mouth of an invertebrate, used for grasping or moving about or bearing sense organs. Then in the case of cnidarians, what is happening? Cnidarians have tentacles with stinging cells. I told just now, stinging cells in their tips, which are used to capture and subdue prey. In fact, the phylum name Cnidarian literally means stinging creature. What is the meaning of Cnidarian? It means stinging creature because of these stinging cells. The stinging cells are called cnidocytes and contain a structure called a nematocyst. The nematocyst is a coiled thread-like stinger. Clear, children? So the next one is we're going to talk about tissue level organization is seen for the first time in Cnidaria. So in the previous group, I told porifera, they are cellular level, but here we can see what level? Tissue level. Body is made up of tissues. A group of cells joined together from what? Joined together from tissues. So tissue level organization is seen for the first time in Cnidaria. Due to blind sac body plan, mouth and anus are the same. Okay, here you see blind sac body plan. You learned which are the different types of body plan. This is blind sac body plan. Here it has only one opening. It is acting as a mouth and anus. Okay, there is no separate openings. So here, due to blind sac body plan, mouth and anus are the same. Body cavity called coelentron. The porifera body cavity is called spongocoel. Here body cavity it is known as coelentron. The group is called what group? Cnidaria or coelentrates. Clear? Then helps in digestion and circulation. So this coelentron or body cavity which helps for digestion and also for circulation because they don't have any organ systems. Two types of body forms. One is called polyp, second one is called medusa. What's the difference between polyp and medusa? Polyp means polyps are sedentary. Sedentary means attached to the substratum and cylindrical life forms. Here, look at here. So these are polyp, cylindrical shape and it attached to the substratum, sedentary form. I told you these are the tentacles. Here there is only one opening. It is acting as a mouth and anus and this is gastrovascular cavity. But medusa means they are free swimming form and also what is the shape? You can tell it is umbrella shape. Here you can see this is polyp. Okay, it is a sea anemone. Clear, it's a sedentary form, attached form. This is medusa. Medusa is free living, free swimming, jellyfish example. It is a shape. What is the shape? It is umbrella shape. Here you can see mesoglea. So previous class I explained between ectoderm and endoderm there is a part, it is called mesoglea. Then it is yellow color part, that is the gastrovascular cavity. Here this is a gastrovascular cavity. Here you can see gastrovascular cavity. Then there is only one opening, that is acting as a mouth as well as anus. And these are the tentacles. Clear? Then what is medusa? Second form I already explained. Medusa are free swimming and umbrella shape. Okay. Here you see medusa is free swimming and umbrella shape. Example, jellyfish. Mouth is surrounded by tentacles which help in locomotion and capturing prey. Okay, so mouth is surrounded by tentacles. So what is the function of the tentacles? One which help in locomotion and also for capturing prey. Then poorly developed nervous system of forming nerve network. They don't have complex nervous system like us. We have a nervous system. Which are the parts of the nervous system? Brain, spinal cord, nerves. But here, no nervous system, but there is a just simple form, just nerve net is present. Clear? So poorly developed nervous system forming nerve net. Then asexual reproduction, same way, it's a budding. Budding means I told the bud formation and a bud it will separate and it's growing as a new individual. Sexual reproduction by gametes. Male and female gametes will form and both fuse and zygote will form. Zygote is growing as a new individual or new adult. Then Sea anemone are polyp type Cnidarian and jellyfish are medusa type. Okay, so here I already told sea anemone, it is a polyp. Polyp means nothing but it is attached to the substratum. Then medusa means it's a free swimming or free living form. So shape it is umbrella shape. Sea anemone are polyp type Cnidarians, jellyfish are medusa type. Then corals are used in jewelry here. Corals also coming under this group. What is the use of the corals? They are used for making jewelries and they form coral reefs. Okay, what is meant by this coral reef? Coral reef is an underwater ecosystem characterized by reef building corals. Reefs are formed of colonies of coral polyps held together by calcium carbonate. Most coral reefs are built from stony corals whose polyps cluster in grooves. Okay, you can see here. So this is the nerve net. I told you there is a poorly developed nervous system. It contains only nerve net, no nervous system, advanced or complex nervous system like us. We have brain, spinal cord and nerves, but here only network of nerves you can see that is called nerve net. Example, Hydra, it's coming under this group, Cnidarian. Yeah, here you look at this, corals. This corals actually it's a sedentary form. Okay, they are polyps. Polyps means they are sedentary or they are attached to the substratum. Usually it's you can see in colonies, you can see in the groups, you can see clear how it is connected. They are connected by, attached by or held together by calcium carbonate. Very beautiful corals you can see under the sea. Okay, so what is coral reef? Coral reef is an underwater ecosystem characterized by reef building corals. Reefs are formed of colonies of coral polyps held together by calcium carbonate. Most coral reefs are built from stony corals whose polyps cluster in groups. Clear? So these are coral reefs.